What is up, YouTube? It's your boy G11 back at it again with another episode of Homie Talk, where we have real discussion about real things happening right now. So, guys, there was something very interesting that happened today. And if you're not aware, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau just made a pretty big announcement for what the government up there is trying to do, right? So, dig the move. They are in the process of making it illegal to buy, sell, transfer, or import handguns anywhere in Canada. Now, it doesn't take a whole lot of rocket science to say that this is a direct relation, so to speak, of what just went down in Uvalde, Texas, with that mass shooting that claimed the lives of about 18 students, 2 teachers, I believe. My math is off there, maybe. Yeah, so about 21 people. But here's the thing, right? Canada doesn't have that many mass shootings last time I checked. And they already have pretty strict gun laws or handgun laws. Check this out, right? In order to even purchase a gun in Canada, here's what you got to do. You got to show proof of practice at a firing range or that you're a gun collector. Then you have to take an in-person safety course. You have to take a written test at the end of that course. Then you got to provide 2 character references. So this is like the application. 2 character references, list the names of your partners who live with you for the last 2 years, and they have to sign the firearm application before you even go do the purchase. And then you have to apply for the firearms permit, which is a 28-day waiting period. They do the background check and all that. And finally, if you manage to get that far, you have to register your firearm with the police after you purchase it. So they already have some pretty lengthy steps in place just to be able to purchase it. And you mean to tell me that something that's not even happening in their country is causing them to essentially almost completely remove gun owners' rights? That's pretty scary to me. Now, I know a lot of you who watch my videos might be in support of removing folks' right to carry here in the United States, right? Here we have the Second Amendment as the right to bear arms. Now, mind you, the whole purpose of that here in the States was, in self-defense and in case the government gets a little too crazy, we would have a way to defend ourselves as private citizens, so to speak. I don't think it'll ever come to that, but that's really the root cause of it. You don't want the government having absolute control over your right to defend yourself is the point of it. So, to me, I don't think, creating laws like this is the answer. Like, you could tell they already have pretty strict stuff. They don't really have a mass shooting problem. So what's the real idea behind it? Now, I know in America here, it is a problem, with all these school shootings that we've had. But usually these are being conducted by disturbed individuals that, they're legally purchasing their firearms, they're passing background checks. I don't know if adding, an additional psych evaluation or maybe adding an additional course, would be the right way to handle it, or, add another barrier to entry, so to speak. But ultimately what I think is you can't look at this from the standpoint of the weapon is the problem. You got to look at it from the standpoint of the people are the problem here, because the gun by itself can't do the damage that it's done. It takes a sick individual to go and do what was done, if you guys are tracking. I think we need to really, just as a society, take ownership of that fact. Parents, you got to be more involved in what's happening with your kids' lives so that they never feel like they have to get to this point. Because generally, a lot of the shootings here are by young Caucasian men. Not very many instances of other races, although it has happened a handful of times. But generally these guys feel like loners, or they have some kind of extremist ideology The Buffalo, New York guy, he believed in replacement theory. And, we have to be on the lookout for that stuff. If you see somebody posting some pretty egregious stuff online, like what the Buffalo guy was doing, probably cause to report that. Or, in the case of that school shooting that just occurred in Texas, I believe the young man was actually texting people, telling them what he was going to do. And I think he had just went to stay with his grandparents for a little bit. I think he was having issues with his parents. Now, of course, their public statement is they didn't know he was like that, etc., etc. But as a parent, you have to take stock of what's happening with your kid, man. You can't just... to me, that sounds like it's such a cop-out to say, oh, I didn't know they were, acting or thinking of doing this kind of thing. Well, are you even involved in their life? You feel me? Like, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So, again, personally, I just don't think the gun is the problem here. Do not take away my right to self-defense, my right in order to protect myself. So, that's my 2 cents on the topic. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you think Canada is taking a step in the right direction, or you think this is just a little bit over the top? I definitely am curious to see what you guys are thinking. Make sure you guys hit like and subscribe for the YouTube algorithm. If you want to send me a story to cover, you can, or just reach me, you can send an email to homietalkwithg11@gmail.com. I'm also over on Twitter at The Real Homie Talk with G11 and on Facebook at Homie Talk with G11. As always, guys, you be safe out there in those streets. Make sure you're exercising responsible firearm use if you're allowed to in your respective country. And you know what's coming up next. Peace.